Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode in ya boy's garage. Whipped up some stir fry tonight. It is pretty fire. So last week I went over reversing a resistor array network, and honestly, the video came out pretty messy. A few people chimed in and challenged the validity of my results, and I really sat and let that stew with me for a while throughout the week. And I ended up studying some more topology and different sort of network meshes, and I kind of came back to the drawing board. And I found something that seemed feasible, but I had to put it to practice or test. I needed to basically confirm if these were actually independent pairs or if they were combinations. So I started shorting some pins and doing some remeasuring, and what I found was actually quite revealing. So initially we recorded pins 1 to 2 as being 62K, but when I shorted out pins 2 to 3 and measured 1 to 2 again, I only had 12K, and when I measured from 1 to 3, I also had 12K. So what this told me was the node between 2 and 3 was actually a 50K resistor in place. So the total sum value between nodes 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 came out to 62K. When I shorted pins 3 to 4, when I measured pins 1 to 2, I still got 62K, and pins 2 to 3, I still got 50K. So when I shorted pins 3 to 4, I remeasured again, and from 1 to 2, we got our 62K. From 1 to 3, we got our 12K, and across 1 to 4, I also got around 12K. If there were some other connecting paths or hidden mesh, it would have altered the readings I got from 1 to 2 and 1 to 3, which wasn't happening, which means this is a good sign that there's no looping going on from 2, 4, 3. This is clear tree topology. I had to confirm, so I shorted pins 2 to 4, and I saw an interesting change happen between pins 1 to 4, 32K. How the hell did I get 32K? Because 1 to 3 is 12, 2 to 3 is 50, 2 to 4 is shorted, 4 connects to 5 through a 50K, and to 1 through a 12K. I literally created a different series stacking combination, which matches the tree logic. In short, no pun intended, my shorts either revealed that I had removed a series resistor, merged 2 nodes, or I forced a new single path. Multiple current paths do not exist in this circuit, which is exactly why my 36 resistor in 1IC theory was flawed. But my measured values were correct. I guessed there was no topology involved, but by shorting connections, I found I was indeed wrong. I admit it. So today we're gonna go ahead and take some measurements together. I've recreated this with only 8 resistors in total. I'm going to show you guys that node network that I've drawn out using tree topology, and we are going to match the recordings I had with what I have on this physically created tree. Mind you, the resistors I'm using on the tree slightly differ. I'm using 10Ks in place of 12Ks because that's what I had laying around, and I'm also using 51Ks because I only had those laying around in place of the 50Ks. So we're working with 10 and 51 as opposed to 12 and 50. Close enough for us to recreate some scenarios. Let's jump in. We have our recreated tree network here. You guys are going to see a picture of that up on the left-hand side of the screen. We've got our meter over here to do some testing, and we do have our values as well. First reading going to be from pins 1 to 2. So 60K. There's our 62K, 1 to 2, okay? Now, we know that if we go 1 to 3, it should be 12K. So here's 1, and here's 3. 10K, because we were using a 10K resistor. So there's our 12K. Let's go between pins 1 and 4. There's 70K. Remember, we're using slightly different resistors here. So you can see that the combinations are adding up entirely. Let's try pins 6 and 8. Look at that, 121K, which is our 125K. So this tree topology represents the array for RM14. It is quite literally just a tree topology using 8 resistors. So this SIP9 package holds 8 resistors inside of it in a tree network, with one being the star point or star node of the tree. Then we have our parent branches, which are the 4 inner resistors. Those are the parent branches. And then these outer resistors on the end are leaf branches. So this is a tree topology. So pretty cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over this, and then let's draw up the PCB together. So this is the RM14 tree network. Everything should be pretty labeled here, pretty simple. We have two resistor networks, RN1 and RN2. RN1 is our 12K network, RN2 is our 50K network. The 9-pin header is over here on the right hand side, and labeling is over here in the corner, and you can see that we have pin 1 connecting to 3, 5, 7, and 9, and then we have 3, 5, 7, and 9 connecting back over here to the even pairs 2, 4, 6, and 8. This is all the network is. Let's go ahead and draw this up in a PCB.
Is there anything inside I haven't asked yet? I know you've been tired and drowning in the shit you won't admit. And lately it just feels like every piece of you is work in progress. Yeah, the bills are due and you're due to blow your top off. But baby, this isn't close to off yet. So make your wishes with or without me. Be honest, and you know I've been dying to save you and dying just to see you. So tell me, why do you always pull away? I can't reach in. Why do you slam the door right when I'm trying to get in? You say you want connection, but you've got 1,000 walls. I'm trying to get over it. I'm bleeding from the climbing, and you have yet to see me fall. And with my last breath, I'll ask for your time again. Because but don't you know? Shoot me down. This is not a shooting star. Yet I said shoot me down. Shoot me down. Shoot me down. Shoot me down. This is not a shooting star.
Alright, and there it is. Alpha RM14 replacement IC. This is our tree network that we worked out together, open source as always. Yeah, I like to use this little soldering mask trick over here to use the copper layer of the board to expose the font like this. I think it looks pretty sweet in comparison to a typical silk screen, which still looks sick with the Alpha logo here on the back. So silk screen on the back's got the Alpha hiding there, and on the front side we have this awesome copper exposure, which I really like. Just a little tricky way to make your boards look better, take advantage of copper pores and the solder mask layer without the actual intended purpose of it. It just makes the designs a little more fun. So yeah, this should be a lot more in line with the size of that SIP9 chip. Maybe just a hair smaller, but I mean, let's face it, we're on a PCB breakout. This isn't a etched silicon like the other board was, a hybrid. So yeah, I'm glad we were able to kind of go ahead and cover the resistor network array here that was done in a tree topology. And I'm sorry I may have misled you guys in a previous video, but I think the beauty of being open source and sharing my stuff here directly on YouTube lets other people chime in, and that's how we all learn. And I don't know everything. I've mentioned that in other videos. I'm always learning as I go. I'm trying to educate myself with what's in front of me at the moment, and then I kind of punch back with it. So yeah, thank you to the commenters who kind of stood back and barked. Some of you guys were a little more aggressive than others. I think someone told me to delete the video, which I found absolutely hilarious. If I deleted the video, I would have never gotten the guidance I needed or the poking I needed to figure out what topology was actually happening here. So anyhow, I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that the topology image that I posted made a lot more sense, and I'm glad we could reverse the network together. I showed everything real time, showed measuring out those recordings, and they were there. So yeah, I don't get everything right the first time, but I do get things correct in the end. So as always, I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.